Hi, my name is Sandy Kowalczyk. I'm going to be teaching a class on t-shirt quilting for the Great South Bay Quilting Guild, and I'm here to explain to you how to prepare your t-shirts before you come to the class. The first thing I'd like to go over with you is how to look at your t-shirts and how to decide which part you're going to use. So this is a bunch of t-shirts that I've gotten from my son, and I just want to show you the different types of t-shirts that you can choose to use and the different parts of the t-shirts you can use. So this is a child's t-shirt. It has a design on the front, it has a design on the back, and it also has a design on the inside. So when you're looking at your t-shirt, you have to consider all of these things, what part you want to use, because that makes the determination on how you're going to cut them. Individual parts of the t-shirt might mean something different to the person you're making the quilt for. So that's one type of a t-shirt. Here's another type. You might want to use the smaller design on the back. So you have to be very careful when you cut these because you want your design to fit somewhere specifically on the block. Okay, let's begin. So we start with our standard tools. You need a cutting mat, rotary cutter, a scissor, and various rulers. Taking your t-shirt, laying it out on the rotary mat, on your mat, you're now going to measure the design to make sure that it's going to fit. The quilt that we'll be making in class requires 14.5 inches of usable space. We're going to wind up with a 14-inch finished block. So you have to have a 14.5-inch design. So you're going to take your ruler and you're going to measure between on the front of the t-shirt between the sleeves. And this has plenty of room. This has 16 inches, so we're good, and the design we will be able to center between the 14.5 inches. But as you take your ruler and you also measure the vertical, the design alone is 15 inches, and to encompass it with the seams, you're going to need at least 16 inches, so we can't use this one in a 14-inch block unless we're willing to trim off part of the design. I'd rather not do that without talking to my son to see if he's willing to lose the top or the bottom, so we'll move on to the next t-shirt. So this is another t-shirt that he gave me, and again, this is a child's t-shirt. You want to first measure your design. So we have, right up to the neckline, the 14.5 inches comes to here. That's pretty well centered. I'm just a little worried about the width. On the width we have 15.5 inches here, but as you move up into where you're going to need the space to make a block, between the arms we only have 12.5 inches. So we won't be able to use this t-shirt unless we want to piece it, and at this point we want to check out our other t-shirts, see if we can avoid piecing the t-shirt. This is another adult t-shirt. And this looks like it might be a winner. We have 14.5 inches. That's a very good balance. And we have plenty between the sleeves. We have full 17.5 inches, so we're good. This is the right size t-shirt. The first thing you're going to want to do, before we start, let me remind you, please wash all of your t-shirts, dry them, and when they're slightly damp, take them out and press them. Remember to press your t-shirts on the wrong side because you don't want to get any of this gummy residue on the bottom of your irons. Plus, you might wind up ruining the design on the t-shirt. Okay, so we start with the sleeves. The first thing you want to remove on the t-shirt that you won't be using, especially if they use t-shirts, is the underarm part of the t-shirt and the sleeves. So feel with your fingers where the seams are. You can feel the back seam. And this is a free-form thing. You're just going to run your rotary cutter along that sleeve and remove it. And you're going to do the same thing with the other sleeve, trying to keep the rotary cutter as close as possible so that you don't lose any of the material that you need for the actual t-shirt block. You start down here. Start with a fresh new blade too, so it's sharp and you know you won't have any problems. Excuse me. Okay. Now, I like to take a scissor and cut off the label so it's not in my way when I'm feeling around for the neckline. And then what I do is I take the front of my t-shirt, the neckline, and I match it up to the back. So that means that you're distorting the t-shirt a little bit, but you're going to have an even cut when you remove the neckline. Just fuss with it a little bit till you get it the way you want it. Use your rotary cutter. Okay, you're going to have to go over those shoulder seams, so it'll be a little tricky. And there you go. Oops, almost. Now, shake the t-shirt out again, and you're going to cut off the shoulder seams. Straight cut. And then you remove the other shoulder. Now you're going to cut off the hemline of the t-shirt. So in order to do that, I'll turn my mat, and I will use a ruler just to keep it straight because it's a long spanse. Okay, now the hem is gone. Now this is the only tricky part. You're going to take the t-shirt from the front, the middle of the neckline, the middle of the hemline, and just lift it. Now take the hem and lift it again, and you should have the two armholes lined up. If it's off a little bit, just realign it. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to cut the front away from the back. We're just going to make one quick cut right up from the bottom to the armpit. Now you should have two free panels, the front and the back. And this is what I would like you to do to prepare your 12 t-shirts, and bring that with you when you come to class. Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing you.